Hello and welcome to Dating Dilemmas. My name is Luna. I am a spiritual life coach and law of attraction expert. Now, today's dating dilemma comes from Holly, who is in Kent. Thank you so much for your dilemma, Holly. And Holly says, I have met this man at work. He is living with someone else, but he says he doesn't love her anymore and is falling in love with me. What should I do? Well, Holly, this is a classic dating dilemma. It is also a timeless dating dilemma, and it is something that does not go away. It is something that generations before us have experienced, and generations ahead of us will experience as well. Now, when you find yourself in this position, there's quite a few questions that you need to ask yourself. First of all, you need to decide, is this something that you're willing to get involved with? You need to be really brave and honest with yourself and make that decision for yourself if this is something that you actually want to get involved with. This is a very challenging position to be in. It's not simple or straightforward, and there's not one right answer either. Now, I would invite you to consider whether or not you feel that this gentleman is actually making you an offer. He tells you that he's falling in love with you, and that is a wonderful thing. Love is always a wonderful thing. But is he actually offering you anything? What is his offer? What are his intentions? And it's important for you to understand what his intentions are and what his offer towards you is before you make any decisions. Now, there's multiple situations that can happen here. First of all, he might not be offering you anything at all. He might not be willing to actually make any big impactful decisions about his life. For example, actually moving away from this relationship that he's in favor of being with you instead. The offer to you might be just that he carries on as he is in the relationship and has you in a separate relationship. And therefore, you need to ask yourself, what is the offer? And is the offer that he's making me good enough for me? Is it something that is actually something that I want? So it's probably likely that this is a gentleman who's not ready or willing to make any big decisions. He could be falling in love with you, but he hasn't really had a relationship with you yet, so he doesn't know if he would be prepared to make these big decisions. Also, if he is making big decisions to leave his relationship, he needs to be doing that for himself. It needs to be a decision that he makes for himself rather than a decision that you make for him, because the potential for him to throw it back in your face is actually very high. Now, this is a situation where you need to be have a full awareness. You need to have a full awareness of absolutely everything that is going on here. And you need to consistently check in with yourself about whether or not this is right for you. It's not a simple situation. It's one that is actually, if you were to get involved with it, and he was not to make any big impactful decisions to leave his primary relationship, then you would become number two, and his priority would always be his primary relationship. Now, the question you need to ask yourself is that enough for me? Am I prepared to do that? Am I prepared to do that for a time-limited period of time? For example, enter into a relationship with him as number two and then decide to yourself, actually, I'm only going to do this for a period of 3 months. And if he doesn't make any changes to his life, then I'm not going to stay around. The challenge with that then is if you find yourself getting emotionally attached to him and then you're actually finding it hard to break away. So this is a situation that is very, very complicated and needs to be considered very carefully before you make any moves. I would invite you to really sit with yourself and question, what is good enough for me? And do I want to enter into something that is potentially very complicated and would pull on your emotions as well? Now, I have actually created a course on this very subject. And the title of the course is Will My Married Lover Leave His Wife? I will put a link in the description to the course so you can go and have a look at that and get a more in-depth and detailed explanation of how you approach this kind of situation. In my course, I have got interviews with married men, and I've also got interviews with a lady who has been in a relationship with a gentleman who is married as well. It's very much worth a look for you if you find yourself in this situation. Now, please do like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in my next video.